Narrative consultation companies are actively ruining the video game industry, and there are hundreds of thousands to millions of gamers who are boycotting companies like Sweet Baby Inc. And now the rumor is that the Wukong devs rejected $7 million extortion from DEI consultants. I have a few things to show off, but if you enjoy the content I create, follow me on social media, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube membership. So this is just a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt, but it would not surprise me at this point to hear that these companies are, yes, reaching out to development groups, trying to tell them, hey, listen, your game is not diverse enough or inclusive enough. It just doesn't reach their standards for what they think video games should be. And now, according to a journalist on the Chinese social media platform Weibo, Black Myth Wukong, which is a game coming out in August that a lot of people are very excited for, is experiencing a harassment campaign from Western critics and journalists after rejecting offers from DEI consultants. The post in Chinese mentions how these consultancy firms interfere with games like God of War Ragnarok, Assassin's Creed, Dying Light Stay Human. Notably, they mention the boycott to the game Hogwarts Legacy due to J.K. Rowling's comments. Now, of course, we know that consultancy firms do interfere with the final product. There are journos out there like Alyssa Mercante who say Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do what you think it does, but that is a lie. They do exactly what you think they do. On some games, they do story writing. Some games, they do character designs, and they help give feedback. And obviously, the developers don't have to use what they say, but at the same time, companies do not hire consultancy firms for tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars just to throw their advice away. So, of course, they're going to 9 times out of 10 use what they say and take their feedback into consideration for the final product. It says, though, the Chinese post implies that the backlash the game is receiving in Western media is a direct result of their alleged refusal to contract with companies such as Sweet Baby Inc., which is also mentioned by name. Now, of course, this would not surprise me whatsoever that now the mainstream has selected another target, because this has been happening. I would say it got really big with Hogwarts Legacy. There were tons of journalists and outlets who either refused to cover the game, or when they covered the game, completely trashed it. We just recently saw that happen with Stellar Blade. It was the target. And of course, the journos decided to trash it in every way possible, and it looks like Black Myth Wukong is going to be the next game on the list. Now, of course, this is a game I personally am excited for. I know so many people have been excited for, and I really hope that it does live up to our expectations and it ends up being a fantastic game that does not have any sort of narrative behind it. You never really know until a game fully launches, but so far they have not marketed it that way, and it doesn't appear that these developers are really worried about being, activists, which of course is not what they should be. Developers should not be forced to put activism-filled messaging into their creations, but with the mainstream, journos and outlets, they want to force developers to, of course, represent their viewpoints in their products. So the initial post is quite long. It says the reason why the team behind Wukong has been subjected to persistent attacks and slander since the promo videos released is because they have consistently refused political correctness guidance and rejected guidance fees of millions of dollars demanded by these teams. Actually, such teams are quite common in Europe and America, which of course, yes, we do already know. Gamers X, we have Black Girl Gamers, we have Sweet Baby Inc. I mean, there is a plethora of them at this point. But of course, they have become very large companies in a very short amount of time because you have them going to groups saying, hey, listen, you're not doing enough. It's like what Anita Sarkeesian did many, many years ago. She contacted Naughty Dog and said, hey, I want a sensitivity read for you. I want to give you my input. And what did Neil Druckmann do? He said, yes, absolutely. That would be fantastic. And then we got The Last of Us Part 2. This has been happening since the Gamergate 1 days. Now we're in Gamergate 2, and something very similar is happening. It also says game science teams refuse to communicate with these groups and reject their interference, which I think is fantastic. They should not have to feel like they need to, correspond with these individuals who are trying to extort them. And over the past year or so, there have been multiple articles that have come out trashing the developer, Game Science, and some of the individuals on the team. Of course, IGN had previously written an article titled How Black Myth Wukong Developers' History of Sexism is Complicating Its Journey to the West. And basically, he had put a bunch of innuendos in posts. He's a bit of a vulgar guy, which, yeah, I get isn't going to sit well with some people, but the majority of individuals just want to experience the product that this group is creating. There are plenty of people who are vulgar on social media and that work at large companies, but you don't see everybody boycotting them. It's just because these hacks want to find a new target to grab onto and, of course, bully them because they rejected the political correctness companies who were trying to right their wrongs in their eyes. Now, of course, since this rumor started circulating, a lot of people have been talking about this game, and I've got to be honest, every piece of content I've seen surrounding it, the gameplay trailers, the cinematic trailers, all of the statements regarding what the game is going to feature have sounded really solid, which is why I personally have been relatively excited for it. But now there are even more eyes on this product and people, supporting them, saying things like that makes me want to support them even more. Absolutely based. Damn, those people sure hate everyone. Well, I was buying the game before anyway, but okay, now I'm definitely buying it even more so. I worry that they will try to sabotage other games like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. People saying things like, good, we don't need DEI on Japanese video games. This is a Chinese game, but I understand their sentiment. We don't need DEI on really any games, but especially ones coming from overseas. Excellent. It will 100% be a good game. Shut down hashtag sweet baby. That would be fantastic. They are actively damaging the industry and all of these narrative consultation companies, again, like gamers and black girl gamers, hit detection, SBI, they are not good for the industry. So it will be interesting to see if anybody affiliated with game science comes out and makes a statement and confirms or of course denies this if we have any other evidence that points to it, because right now this is just a rumor. Again, take it with a grain of salt, but it really wouldn't surprise me, and I am sure it would not surprise a lot of you. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.